Hey, what's going on, Churchfront peoples? My name is Jeff. I'm coming to you from Madrid, Spain, and I wanted to make this video to give you a little tech tour of the church where my wife and I are here serving here in Spain, which is actually my father-in-law's ministry. He's the pastor here, and I always see all these little videos on this. In this group, in this community, on the tech tour, and especially on YouTube, seeing different churches with their tech tours. So I wanted to give you a little tech tour of this ministry overseas, and it's a small ministry, but there's a lot of people think that you can't really do like a great live stream and great lighting and all that stuff because your ministry is small. Because we see a lot of the big churches in the U.S. where I'm actually from in Jersey. You see a lot of churches over there that the big ministries like Lakewood, Potter's House. There's so many big churches that have all this awesome tech, cameras, lighting, microphones, etc. And we think that we have to get to that level in order to have the great quality stream and mics and sound and all that stuff. Well, that's always not the case. That's not always the case. You can have a professional stream, professional sound, all that good stuff like the big churches do, even in a small ministry. And what I always tell some friends that are involved in the same thing is that you have to work with what you have. Do the best you can with what you have, and it's learning your equipment. You have to learn your equipment. No matter what it is, whether you're streaming from an iPhone or a small Canon camera or GoPro, whatever the case is, you have to do the best with what you have, and you can make your stream look amazing and professional as possible when you learn your equipment and find resources that are budget friendly, and you can hook that up, teach your team, learn what it is you have, learn your equipment, and you can have a professional stream, and no one's even gonna know that you don't have top of the notch, expensive professional equipment, like I'm about to show you here. Not that we have cheap stuff, but you can definitely have a great stream and great sound on your stream as well. If you're on a budget like we are here temporarily, because believing in Jesus' name that all these ministries that are small will one day be big and grow and have a budget like you want to have all the great equipment. But I'm going to show you here what it is you can do if you're in the Europe area or even in the US. That even if you're a small ministry, you can have a great stream, great sound with a small budget and working with what you have. So let's get to it. All right, so check it out. I'm gonna give you a rundown of the cameras that we use to start. So here we have a Sony FDR-AX 53 4K Handycam. This is a great camera which gives you great HD, great 4K as well. And this is our main camera that we use to stream. This is our camera 1, as you can see. All right, we have it up on a tripod here at the main desk, and I'll show you how we have this set up. So we have a micro HDMI running from here into a capture card. This capture card is called a Media Box. All right, it's 3.0 USB HDMI, and that cable runs right to here to the HDMI input. All right. And on the other side, we have a USB input, which runs down to here, to this little guy right here, which is a USB extension cable, which this cable is about 10 meters. I don't remember how much that is in feet, but it's a 3.0 USB. As you can see, it's all rolled up, and that runs underneath to the computer that I'll show you in a bit. Okay, you have it up on a tripod. And this is facing our stage, all right, that we have there. All right, we have one of those, and then here we have another Sony Handycam. This one is actually a Sony FDR-AX 33 4K Handycam. We have two of these, all right? We have two of these on a tripod, same setup, same meter box, micro HDMI that we have here. So micro HDMI to the HDMI here. And then on the other side, we have the USB. And this cable is running down here into this little hub that we have here, which has 4 inputs. We're going to use one right now, and this needs to be plugged in order to, give you power, because this is 10 meters long, and we have this little guy plugged in right there into that extension cord, and this cable from this is running underneath this rug, and it's running underneath here to right there where we have 2 cables. So you can see here we have 2 cables, and I'll show you where the other one goes. It's this one here, and it's running all the way to the computer over there. Then we have the other cable here, which is running along, as you can see the mark, which is running along here, and it comes to this hub here, which is actually this hub. This cable that I just showed you is running all the way to the computer, right? And on this little guy, we have the other Sony camera hooked up, which is our camera 5. The one I showed you before is camera 2. Same thing, FDR AX33, and same setup. We have this Meta box, all right, which is great. This is our capture card. That's our capture card, and you can see same thing. We have the USB 3.0 cable, and this cable is connected right here. Okay, this guy also has to be plugged in over here, and like I said before, this cable runs all the way to the computer over there. And then this USB here, this one's running back here, underneath there, to here, and it's connected to this little action camera, little Akaso Brave 4. Now this is a great little action cam. I usually have this facing the drums, so we have a shot of the drums whenever I'm playing the drums, which is an electronic kit, which I recommend for a small church. I recommend, this is the Alesis Nitro Mesh, which is a great little kit, and great on budget if you're looking for an electronic kit for your church, or just to practice with. But usually I have this facing the drums. I actually have it facing the congregation, just because I'm not drumming at the moment, because I'm doing a lot of the work. I run a lot of the streams and sound, so I can't be at 2 places at once. Right? So we have 3 of those little action cameras. Right? Again, we have 3 of those little action cameras. Here's another one, same thing, Akaso Brave 4, and we have a little micro USB, and that's running down here to that USB 2.0 extension, which is running underneath here, underneath there, to our streaming computer. All right, and we also have one more. We also have another Akaso Brave 4, and same thing. This one is running to this USB extension here, 2.0, and this cable is running along here, up here, down through here, underneath there. Yeah, we gotta cover that up. Underneath the computer to this computer here. All right, and the computer that we're using to stream, we're using this guy here, an Omen gaming computer with a GeForce RTX capture card. That thing is powerful, man. I'm telling you, this thing is very powerful. I love how the lights change. That's just for fun. The graphic cards in there and everything. Everything's running off the graphic cards, and which is great because it doesn't use a lot of CPU. This thing is powerful, man. Gaming computers are really powerful. we decided to go with a Omen gaming computer to do our streams because we needed something with a lot of power, and it wasn't that expensive. I think it was somewhere around, maybe, I want to say 700 or 800 euros, which is roughly maybe 800 bucks or so. Kept it out under $1,000. All right, so we use OBS to stream, which is great. It's free. I highly recommend it if you're just getting started with streaming. If you don't have the resources to pay for something like Restream or vMix or any other streaming service, OBS is great. It's free and it's easy to use. It's pretty self-explanatory, and there's a bunch of YouTube videos on how to run a stream with OBS for churches. So highly recommend it. I won't get into all that, but just check out some YouTube videos on how to work OBS with your church stream. So we use that, and we also use the Elgato Stream Deck, which is awesome. I love this thing. I know a lot of the popular things to use are the Blackmagic A10 Mini, which is also great. There's other things out there that you can use, but this is what we use, and it's awesome because you have so many things that you can do with this. So many channels you can use. You can even do more here. I removed it, but you can definitely have 10 scenes with a bunch of channels. And now we have our camera, as you can see here. Press that, disappears. See both. Right, got my camera set up there. I don't have all the other cameras set up, hooked up right now, but I just have the main camera, so you can see what I'm doing. You switch scenes. So what we do, we have our scripture on the left and our live stream on the right, and we also have for our tithes and offering, where some info on how you can tithe and offering, all that stuff as well. The different scenes, as you can see, the scenes on the left switch with the Stream Deck, as I'm doing here. Scene 2, scene 3, etc. This thing is great. I have easy worship here, which is just capturing my screen from over there on the left. A bunch of stuff you can do with this thing. I love this thing. Highly recommend it if you want to manually run your stream from here. Also, let's go. Oh, we also have another camera here. We have this Lumix camera that we use for just taking pictures. It's 4K. It takes pictures in 4K. It's an awesome camera. We got a great deal on it, and it doesn't have for you to put a lens on here, although I think you can put a lens on there, but we don't have a lens on it now because, like I said, our sanctuary is very small, so we don't really need to have like huge zooms, like in a lot of other churches, bigger churches. But it's a great little camera. You do need a 4K pictures. You need a 4K memory card, which it has. So, like I said, it's a great camera. Lumix. I don't remember the actual model, or maybe that's it right there. 25600. I'm not sure. But it's by Panasonic. So, as you can see there, Lumix is made by Panasonic. So, it's a great little guy right here to have for some pictures. Okay, so onto our lighting software. Our lighting software, we use Light Key, which I highly recommend as well. It's easy software to use, although you do need a Mac. We have this right now. Move this keyboard. We have this on a 2014 Mac Mini, which this is all we use it for, honestly. I use this just for lighting, and that's it. So this is 4 gigabytes, this Mac Mini here, as you can see on the screen. As you can see, it's 2014, finales de 20, it's like the end of 2014. Sorry, it's in Spanish. Yeah, your processing power, i5. It's only 4 gigabytes, but it does the job. It does what it needs to do. And like I said, it's in Spanish, but just translating to near the end of 2014. Your processors, 1.4 gigahertz, and your memory is 4 gigabytes. which is all you really need to run light key. And this is our setup here. As you can see, I have 7 moving heads here, and I have 3 up here on stage, a total of 10. We have 4 pars up here, and then we have this bar over here, which I'll show you exactly what they are, what our light fixtures are. So our moving heads are our Aldi box Iowa 70. All right, we have 10 of those. Then our par lights are Aldi box Dallas 180 MK2. We have 4 of those. And then the bar that we have is called the Stage Tri LED Bundle Complete. All right, which is that guy over there. All right, those lights you can't control individually. They all run pretty much together. And yeah, so that's our lighting setup. We only have right now 256 channels of lighting bought, because that's all we need right now. That's all we have. And we still have about 60 something channels maybe still free or so, or I don't know. I'm not doing the math. I'm not going to do the math on that. We still have all these channels up to here free. So up to from 188 to 256, we still have some channels free. And as you can see, Light Key has a ton of different light fixtures. We have the Audi box, like I said. We have the Iowa 70 is what we have. We have 10 Iowa 70s and the Dallas 180 MK2. So that's what we have for our lighting software. And as you can see how we have them set up, we have 7 of those guys up there, the moving heads, 7 moving heads facing the stage, and then the 4 pars up there, and then 3 moving heads down there, and our tri-bar over there. And that's what we have for our lighting. That one's over the drums, so it gives some backlighting to the drums. And these are mainly to give front lighting to the stage. Those don't move whenever we're in praise and worship. And those par lights, obviously par lights don't move, but those do move when we have our praise and worship happening, and we have our tracks running. And as you can see here, we have a lot of songs. They're all in Spanish, but for example, we have, let's see, one that you might know in English is this one, Señor eres fiel, which is Lord, you are good. All right, so we have, for example, let's see our chorus here. See our chorus, the moving heads there, and yep. See, the lighting just changes on those back there, all at the same time. We have our moving heads down there on the stage. We just give some up lighting, and then the pars, which pretty much just change colors. That's it, And there's a lot you can do with these, cool little effects, etc. So yeah. So that's what we have there. We put moving heads as our front lighting because we have our pulpit is down front, in front of the stage right now. So since we do some preachings from down there, we needed some lighting down there. So we needed moving heads in order to be able to move the lighting down to the front. So here's if we change this. See, there's lighting on the stage. As you can see, there's some lighting on the wall, and then lighting down in the front. You can see, if you look at the wall right here, you can see that changed. Lighting on the stage for when singers and the pastors up there, and lighting down here for when they're preaching down there. Up on stage, down in front of the stage. So that's why we went with the moving heads, so we can have that happening. Because during the week they do a lot of preachings down front, and on Sundays they do it on the stage. So we needed moving heads in order to have our front lighting. And there's our projector as well. Right now we have our projector on our wall since we don't have an LED screen yet, but I'll get into that in a sec. Also, the way we have the lights connected with the Mac Mini is we have a USB cable back here, all right, this guy right here, which is a Eurolight USB to DMX, all right? Everything with the lighting comes from this one cable, USB to DMX. And to that cable, there's a DMX cable running underneath the computer, and it's running up through the ceiling, and it connects to that light. And then from there, we have an output going into this input. DMX cable from there to here goes all the way across here to there. Then it goes all the way over there. Then from that one, it goes to the part up here, runs across, comes down the stage, and over to those moving heads there. And it's all with DMX cables, and they're just all connected one by one, going across in like a Z form, so to speak. And it's all with the one cable running into the Mac Mini, which I'll show you here. So it's this simple cable right here. Sorry it's a little dark, but this DMX cable running into this DMX cable. This DMX cable is a USB running up to the computer, and this is what's giving power to all the lights. This one little guy right there, and that's the cable which is connected to the back of the Mac Mini via USB. And that's how everything is connected as far as the lighting goes. You know, one cable. It's all you really need to run all your lights to LightKey. All right, so here's the presentation software that we use. We use Easy Worship 7, and it does great. It does a job. We have all our lyrics slides automated with an iPad because we use playback to run our tracks. And so we have Easy Worship synced with the iPad with MIDI to change our slides, as we do LightKey as well. LightKey integrates instantly with playback since it's run on Mac, and an iPad, it synchronizes easily with MIDI. So our lighting and our presentation software is all controlled with playback during praise and worship. And Easy Worship is great software. It's the, I guess you could say, competition of ProPresenter. Nothing against ProPresenter for all the ProPresenter peeps out there, which I would love to have ProPresenter, but you know, it's just budget which is why we went with Easy Worship. And Easy Worship, we've been using it here for years, even before I came here. My wife and her family, which is the pastoral family, they've been using Easy Worship for years, so they just upgraded to Easy Worship 7. And this guy is also, the screen is being captured from this computer onto our streaming computer with the Stream Deck here, which I have Easy Worship set up here, or I can just capture the screen, right? For scriptures and anything they need to use, like it's time to sow. So I capture that here onto the screen as well, which is easy. And the way I have that going is we have another capture card underneath the computer. We have a capture card underneath the desk, rather, a capture card, HDMI to USB, from this computer to that computer. And we have this little guy here, which is a pass-through USB 4K 3.0 capture card. It's by MetaBox. We actually have two of these. One to capture the screen. This one actually captures the lyrics. So this is our alternate output from the presentation software computer into our streaming computer, so we can get lyrics onto the screen during our live stream. That's what this one's for. And then this one back here,
This is to capture the screen, same as this. It's the same little box, and this one's to capture the screen like I just showed you before. HDMI or USB to HDMI into the streaming computer. So that's how we have our presentation software running to our streaming computer, so we can get so we can capture the image from there to here, like so. And also when we have lyrics, so you can see here, for example, put some lyrics on here, right? Put some lyrics, and let me show you with a different song, like Lord You Are Good. And on here, you can see we have our lyrics, which I have set up with this button here to capture our lyrics on the screen for whenever we're streaming and we have praise and worship going. We have our lyrics on screen. All right, so that's how we do that with our presentation software, Easy Worship 7, which is great. And also the way we have our playback synced with this computer to be able to change slides is we use the RTP MIDI app here. All right, this RTP MIDI app, as you can see, my iPad is connected here, right? Jeff's iPad. And this app, the RTP MIDI app, is how we can capture the signal, the MIDI signal from an Apple product to a Windows product, right? So if you're using Windows and you're using playback and you want to automate your slides, you need to download the RTP MIDI app and install it along with the Bonjour app. There's a video on the Easy Worship website on how to do all that, or the YouTube channel, Easy Worship's YouTube channel. They have videos on how to do all that, how to integrate it, how to make that happen. I'm not going to get into detail on how to do that, but I will tell you that RTP MIDI only runs up to Windows 10. So if you have Windows 11, it's not going to work. All right, you need Windows 10 in order to be able to use RTP MIDI along with your iPad, all right, or your iPhone or a Mac, any Mac product. RTP MIDI only goes up to Windows 10 on a Windows computer. So if you're using Windows 11, RTP MIDI won't detect your Mac product or your Apple product, all right? So just a little tip on that, all right? So that's how we have our presentation software with our streaming software happening. All right, so here we have our soundboard, which is the Behringer X32, which is pretty much like the most popular soundboard in churches, especially the smaller churches. This is a great soundboard to have and to use for your services. We have right now, the way I have this set up is we have quite a few buses for our in-ears. And again, it's in Spanish, so don't mind that. But here's my wife's in-ear, my sister-in-law's in-ear, my in-ear on the drums, my brother-in-law whenever he's playing guitar, and another member, Luis, whenever he plays guitar, which we three use the Behringer P1, right? We use the Behringer P1, and we have these four here with a with in-ears, which is this in-ear over here. We use the LED Systems May 1000 IEM in-ear. Right now, this is here on the with the Easy Worship computer, because we use this for Zoom. Whenever we do Zoom interviews online, we use this so the person on the other end of Zoom can hear us and hear everything we're saying on the mics, etc. But those are the in-ears we use. We have four of those, which we use for our singers, and those are down here. We have our 3 transmitters. The first one uses splits 2 in-ears, and then we have the third and the fourth one right there. So that's where we have our in-ears right now underneath the desk. Again, this looks a total mess. I guarantee you it's not though. It just looks that way, but yeah, it looks a mess. Anyway, so here we have our talkback that we have hooked up here. In order to talk to the singers during service, sometimes we need to tell them, hey, you know, the pastor's taking a little long to come out, so, you know, keep ministering, keep talking. So I use this mic, simple mic, with a little on-off switch here, just to talk to the singers and the musicians whenever I need to communicate anything to them during praise and worship. And I have that on a little stand there. And yeah, here we run the, see here, on this cable, in our 17 and 18, we have our click and our guide, and then our track and pad, which I run here. And as you can see, we have all our mics, pastor's mic. Here we have the drums effects, which is SPDSX. Also a talkback mic over by the drums. Whenever I'm drumming, I can talk to the singers from the drum set while I'm drumming. We have 2 guitars here. And also we have our click and our guide and our track and pad here on these 2 channels, as well as these two channels. Because these 2 channels, whenever the iPad's here and we run the tracks from the soundboard, we have it on this channel, those 2 channels. Whenever I'm playing drums, I have the iPad over by the drums and I run them on these 2 channels, so I can run the tracks while I'm drumming. And we have our projector, which we have a left and right for a projector. And here we also have some reverb, some delay, and bus 13 and 14. And then we have our live stream left and right on channel 15 and 16. And then we have our reverb and delay left and right for our stream, and also a little other like echo type of effect as well. And this is running to our stream, right? And this is for our house. And yeah, so if you need to get a digital soundboard, this is the one I recommend. It's the best in price if you're on a budget. This is under $2,000, and this is a great soundboard if you're looking to upgrade from a analog soundboard to a digital soundboard. This is the one I recommend. Also, we have here this other cable. So you can see there's 2 cables. We have this cable here, so we can run some music during the preaching, you know, some soft background piano music. We have this set up on left and right, and I have that coming out of here. We also use this Belkin that my brother-in-law just bought, so we can, you know, connect the iPad and also keep it charging at the same time and have the music come out. Or sometimes we just plug the phone in and use it here, you know, for iPad. One of our iPads isn't available. And we have some Audio Technica headphones plugged in here on the side in order to, you know, listen to the singers and the tracks, make sure everything sounds great. And that's our soundboard, and I'm going to show you our speakers. So here we have one of our speakers. We have 2 of these. These are JBL EON 15. 15-inch speakers with a little tweeter at the top. And we just mounted this on the wall. As you can see, our cables are running from the back through the ceiling to our subwoofer, which I'll show you in a sec. And we have that mounted to the wall. Don't mind those holes. You know, it was a little struggle finding where we could mount that thing. And yeah, that's the result. So I have to patch those up. So yeah, don't mind that. But that's our speaker, one of our speakers up there. On the wall, we had a tripod, which was here. So we had to get rid of that tripod, and we put the speaker up there. And I obviously, as you can see, I can't reach the speaker because it's too high. So how do we power this thing on? We have a cable running from up there, power cable running up there through the ceiling, comes out of there into here, behind this plant, and we have it here. And there's a little switch here, which we turn on in order to power the speaker on. All right, and we have a little multi-socket thing here. This is an extension cord just to power up our par light there, or our camera when it needs charging. And then on the other cable, the XLR is actually running from the ceiling, and it comes down there through here, right through there, through our stage, and there into our subwoofer. Now this guy is a beast. This is the Audibox Pro 18S, 18-inch speaker on the inside of this baby. And man, this thing has juice, man. I'm telling you. Right now, as you can see, I don't even have the sub level. I don't even have it halfway. I only have it just like a little tweak past a quarter, because man, this thing wails. And this isn't available in the US, Audibox, not that I know of. It's a European brand. And man, this thing is a beast. I'm telling you, this thing is a beast. And man, all I can say is that just a quarter of the sub level, and this thing is booming. This thing booms, man. All right, so we have that here, set up here, and we also have our other speaker connected to it as well. So you can see we have one coming in here, which is the speaker I showed you, and this other cable runs under there, up through the wall, and it runs all the way to that other speaker there. And there's our other speaker, in which we also have cables running to the ceiling. All right, don't mind those two holes. Again, a little issue, but I had to cover those up. So our speakers are running, cable speakers running through there. Same thing, I can't reach up there. So there's a cable, power cable is running up through there, comes across here, and it comes down here into this guy, which I turn this on with a little switch, multi-socket. And this is actually an extension cord, which is sitting up top. There's an extension cord which is powered on, which the speaker is connected to there. So that's our speaker setup right there. We just mounted them on the walls, and these things are great, man. As you can see, here we have the one speaker there, the other speaker over there, and our subwoofer down there. And that's our sound system. That's all we have right now. That one sub is more than enough for a small little church like this one with two speakers, and it does the job, you know. And I have the volume here set up at 0, at neutral, and it's great. I don't really need to lower this much. Honestly, I don't need to lower it at all. All I gotta do is just lower the track, or lower the mics, and we're good. You know, those speakers are actually only 3/4 of the way turned up in volume, and it's a great sound. It does a job, and it gets loud in here. It can get loud in here. So, yep, that's our speaker setup. 2 upright speakers, a subwoofer, all connected to the X32, and that subwoofer, the cables actually from the subwoofer is running up through the ceiling, up there, comes down through there, underneath the desk, into our X32. And also we have our mic, one of our mic transmitter there, which has 4 microphones, a little low end EMB microphones. They were a gift to the church a long time ago. And right now we have our snake, 16 channel snake with 4 outputs. We're only using 1 output at the moment because the guitar players aren't playing at the moment. We're using a lot of tracks, and I'm wanting to get this guy underneath the stage, but it's gonna take a lot of work. But until we get the the S32, so we can have just a Ethernet cable running to the soundboard. But as you can see, just have our cables as neatly as possible here, tied up and whatnot. I keep running over here. The snake was actually here on the wall before, but we took it down, and thankfully some cables fit in there, so the stage looks a little cleaner. They don't really fit down there, but they're tied up and everything, so pressed against the wall. And right now, this is what we use for our snake. This snake actually is running underneath there, and it runs up the wall right there. It runs up the wall, and it goes all the way back there, coming down there, underneath the desk to the soundboard. And here's what it's like on stage. Front lighting. Hope it's down there. Usually it's up here, right there. There are marks on stage for singers and other stuff. So, yeah. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that little tech tour of the Fraternity Christian Church, or Fraternidad Cristiana de Europa. Fraternity Christian Church here in Europe, where my wife and I serve in Madrid, Spain. Like I said at the beginning, it's all about how you use what you have. If you're a small church on a budget, just start getting one little thing at a time, which is what we did here. And in the span of 2 years, going on 2 years actually, is how we got everything that we have. You just got to budget and get one thing at a time, or if you can get everything at once, then hey, even better. That's a even better blessing right there. But if you can't, get one thing at a time. Get one camera and get what you need for that camera in order to live stream. Whether it's a capture card, a computer to stream from, etc. Try to buy that little bundle together and get started with a good stream. Like I said, you can have a very small budget and have a very professional stream if you learn your equipment, learn what all your equipment does, and use it to the best of your ability. Giving God the best with what you have in order for Him to trust you to have even better stuff, because it's all to glorify Him in the end, and it's to give Him the best with what we can do. So I hope you enjoyed that tech tour. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. Feel free to email me, and I'll help you out with whatever I can, because we're all here in church front helping each other, and in the end, the end result is to glorify our God. So, and we're here as brothers and sisters to help each other out with whatever we can. Any tips, any advice that I can give, let me know. And if there are any other tips or advice that you want to give me, please leave in the comments, email me, and I'm definitely open to any of that stuff, because I'm always trying to make this better here, make the live stream better, make our lighting sound better. So I'm always open to advice and suggestions. And I hope this video has been helpful to you in whatever you want to do with your ministry, and helping to grow your live stream, make it better, your lighting, your sound, whatever it is that you want to do for your ministry. Like I said, one thing at a time, take it little by little, and don't be afraid to look at YouTube and find other videos that are helpful in order to be able to give your ministry an amazing stream, an amazing sound, amazing lighting. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one.